You just smiled, and it brought back when I first was involved with WBVP. It was doing remotes. You know, you start wherever you can start, and we did remotes in hot and cold weather, and fun. I still enjoy that remote part. The studio works great too. Don't get me wrong, but anyhow, it's fun being here with you and to be able to talk about something very unique. An operation that's going to help people, not only in this area, but people unknown, people who need some financial help.
Well, you saw a need and you fulfilled
Right.
that need, and
Right.
it was a chore to do that, and a very expensive one, huge investment
Right.
to establish a big supermarket. And if you look around the country, not many people are building new supermarkets these days.
You're exactly right, John.
It's very highly competitive. But this store has caught the imagination and the appreciation of all of the people in Brighton Township, and from county officials and county commissioners and everyone, and they're shopping here. And it's been really gratifying, I know, to you to see the success of the store after.
It has, Jim. You really
took the risk to do this.
Oh yeah. Well, you hit the nail on the head. You know, I've had people say, "Oh yeah, it would be very successful." Well, I'm glad that it's turned out that way. But as you well know, nothing is a slam dunk. And sure, there was concern. This could have gone poorly, but we brought in the experts who know. They've forgotten more about supermarkets than I'll ever known. And
the
that's
two of us here talking about a supermarket.
Yeah.
We don't know a damn thing about it.
That's right. It's a blind. It's a blind leading the blind. That's
right.
Exactly right. But then we got the Saffron family, and they know, and they're very, very smart people. And so, you know, if I can do anything well, it's find out who can do what and then get the heck out of their way.
Well, we're going to talk to Phil Saffron in just a few moments, but I want to remind people that Bill Day is no stranger to Beaver County. As a matter of fact, he was born and raised in Rochester.
That's right.
And graduated from Geneva College, and has had a warm spot in his heart for Beaver County since he was a boy. And sure. he's had a long journey. He's been a lot of places. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Robert Morris University. He's been a healthcare consultant. And he started 52 years ago as first, I guess, a consultant at St. Barnabas,
right.
and then the president. And there's only been 3 presidents since 1900.
We've had a lot of turnover.
No, I don't think another organization anywhere can make that statement, that in 120 years there have only been 3 leaders of the organization. That's remarkable.
Yeah, it's remarkable. And I remember one time that you introduced me someplace and indicated that I had been at St. Barnabas for a long period of time. And I think you also said the reason I was there is that I couldn't find another job. Well, it cracked me up, and there's probably some truth to that. No, it's been a very interesting ride, and I must say I really didn't know that I would be doing something with a supermarket. I can tell you my vast experience, and this will probably bore anybody who's listening or watching to us. But yes, from Rochester, there was a place there called Eddie's Market. And Eddie had a very attractive daughter. And so her name was Myrnie, so I still remember even her name. So what did I do? But I thought it would be kind of nice to get to know Myrnie. Well, she thought it would be a good idea if I helped stock the shelves in Eddie's Market. So
she was smarter than you.
Yes, exactly right. So I did that, of course, because of Myrnie. But that's my sum and substance of supermarket experience.
Well, actually, I have heard that story before.
Yes, I'm sure.
Myrna told me the story.
Good.
I ran into her not long ago.
That should be good.
And she told me about how she got you to stock the store for
That's
her.
right. I remember occasionally I would get a box of raisins because she knew I like raisins. So you can add that to your repertoire, so to speak. Yeah, it's been a very interesting time. But to see this come to fruition and know that people are enthusiastic about it. It's mind blowing.
Well, and your timing was very good. You opened the store in December, and it was a Christmas present for the citizens of Brighton Township.
It was.
And so on behalf of all of those folks, we want to thank you for,
you're welcome,
for
Jim.
the risk that you took, the vision you had, and for the tenacity that you exhibited in getting this to where it is today.
Well, as you know, anything worthwhile is difficult and does take tenacity. It's got to go well. And so we have great managers. We got the expertise necessary to make this work, and it's going. It's gone well.
Well, I see Phil Safran over there. And Phil, if you'll come over, and we want to talk to you of the real grocery supermarket expert.
Here's Mr. Supermarket.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Day.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is Phil Safran. Phil has been in the grocery business. I don't know how many years. 5 years old, I think it was when you started.
Probably about 6 years old when I started.
You were 6 years old when you started. So, and you're what, 49 now?
We'll leave it at 49. Yes, thank you. Being very generous.
Well, now, tell us when you first met Mr. Day and he told you about this store. Were you surprised? Were you thought he was crazy, or did it sound exciting to you?
Oh, it was extremely exciting. I mean, looking at the condition of the store, they knew they had to put a lot of effort and money into it to make it work, and they were willing to make that commitment, and they did. That's why the store is what it is today.
Well, what's been you've been in business now for how many couple months?
Since December 5th we opened.
December 5th, and today was the official ribbon cutting.
Yes.
The very official opening, but you've had some experience, and what's been the experience so far?
I mean, out here, the experience,
Yes.
It's all been great. The community is very happy to have a store again in here. We've got a great staff. We're very, very happy with our employees. They've been doing a really nice job. We've been getting a lot of complimentary letters, about them, and we're glad to seek those employees out and give them a nice pat on the back and tell them thank you for the good job.
Well, now you've hired people from Brighton Township and from around the area. How many new employees have come to work here?
We're probably about 65 to 70 right now, but part of that's a lot of part-time kids in high school that
Right.
only can work 2 or 3 days. I mean, but we try to give them an opportunity to join the workforce at an age, and those are usually the kids that want to move on and do better things in their life.
But that's 65 to 70 jobs that were not here in Brighton Township before. So that's a great story.
Yes, they all left when the store closed, so it's like brand new beginning again. And everyone here working with us seems very happy to be part of this whole operation.
Well, now your family also has operated Rochester and Ambridge and your stores, and do you still spend time in those, or do you spend all of your time in this store?
Between myself and my son Jared, my daughter Brittany, we travel between all 3 stores every day. So each of us tries to be at the different stores at different times. So one of us pretty much is at all 3 throughout the course of the day.
Well, that's a pretty big. You're staying pretty busy then.
Oh yes, I mean start early every morning and go all afternoon and evening. But you just need to be here to make sure everything's going right and smooth things out and give the employees some moral support and everything else you have to do.
Great. Well, Phil, I want to thank you for being with us today on the Best of Beaver County. And when we have that title of our show, the Best of Beaver County, and this supermarket represents that. It is absolutely the best of Beaver County.
Well, thank you so much.
And
we think it is. It's a very beautiful store.
We think you're the best and the best person to be running it.
Against you, you're like the main spokesman for them. So we're both doing a good job for a very good organization.
We are. Thanks a lot, Phil. Nice to have you with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back in just a few moments with the Best of Beaver County.
Brian, you're up. Brian DeHart. Roddey. How are you? I'm good. Thanks for having me.
We're going to do Brian, then Helen, and then Julia. And there's just enough.
We're just gonna ask the usual
Okay.
questions over and over again.
No problem. Good.
Busy?
Yeah, it's been busy in town. Township's going real well. Been a good few years here.
Well, I think you got 3 good commissioners.
Yeah, we do.
And I think the fact that they seem like they're going to work together,
They do.
and that's going to be a blessing.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more dysfunctional than the commissioners fighting.
I agree. Yeah,
And it's silly.
it is.
It really is.
Yeah.
And if somebody trying to stand out and get attention, and really they're thinking about themselves and not about the citizens.
I agree. Our supervisors, I got good supervisors. I worked here for a long time now in the township. It's hard to believe time goes so fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the best of Beaver County. This is Jim Roddey for St. Barnabas, and we're joined now by Brian DeHart, who is the township manager at Brighton Township. And you must be really pleased to have a beautiful brand new supermarket right in Brighton that hasn't had one in 3.5 years.
Well, we're very thrilled about it. The whole community's thrilled about it. When there wasn't a grocery store, we heard a lot. When are we going to get a grocery store back? It's really something that was desperately needed in the community.
Well, why don't you just take credit? Tell them all you worked very hard and you got the store here.
Yeah, the township was responsible for getting it here. How's that?
That's good. Well, now, St. Barnabas has a big commitment in Brighton, along with Beaver Meadows and the Tusca Plaza and the Baker Engineering property, and now a supermarket. I think we've demonstrated that we think that Brighton Township is the place to be.
Well, we're really thrilled with the investment St. Barnabas has made in Brighton Township. Not only first with Beaver Meadows, restoring this plaza, bringing the grocery store, and now with the Baker property, we're excited to see what's in the future.
Well, we believe that the future is in Beaver County. The cracker plant and the jobs that will create, and the spinoffs and the downstream companies that will come and get involved, and we think that's going to be important. But the living in Beaver, if you want a place to raise your family, I can't imagine a better place than Beaver County. And Brighton Township is a great example of a nice place to live, to raise your family, and to go to church and good schools and have good health care, all of those things that every family looks for.
Brighton Township, I think, is the place to be in Beaver County. This grocery store even makes it better. As you mentioned, we got the hospital in Brighton Township. We got a great school district. Our housing stock's nice. Nice residential communities that have been established and new ones being constructed.
Well, I want to thank you for being with us today, and thank you for the job you do. When you've got all those things going well, you have to say something about the management of the township, and you must be doing a very good job. So thank you for that, and thank you for letting us come in and be your neighbor.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for being here.
And next we've got a lady, Helen Kitsick, and she is the president and executive director of the Beaver Chamber of Commerce. A big job. You've got a big title, but it's a big job, and you stay very busy, don't you?
Good morning, Jim. We really enjoy what we do with our members. We were counting the other day. It's 560 members who belong to the Chamber of Commerce, and it's a joy to work with them and to help the county to continue to grow.
Well, you've had a long record with that. You didn't just start it as at the top. You've been involved with the Chamber for quite a while.
Yeah, I had a 5-year milestone that I celebrated with them as a member last year. I joined their board a little over a year ago, and then I started in this capacity in November last year.
They must have seen something about your service as a board member that told them this is the person that we want to be our new president.
Well, I'm flattered, and I've got big footsteps to follow with now Commissioner Jack Manning, who was the previous president and executive director. So we have a lot of work to do, but we have an excellent staff, and we're looking forward to serving our members.
Well, I work with chambers all the time, and I'm astounded at the number of activities you have, creativity that you've brought, and how you really love this job.
Can't help but be excited about the growth in this particular county, and super excited to be here today with the St. Barnabas, Shop and Save, etc. Empire that is now growing in the Beaver County area. We're so happy to see you continue to expand from the Gibsonia area into this community here as well. So yeah, it's all good.
I like that empire. I'll tell Mr. Day he can be the czar of Brighton, but with Beaver Meadows, with the Tusca Plaza, with the supermarket and the Baker Engineering property, we've really made a huge commitment here, and we are going to be doing more. And because we believe in Beaver County, we believe it's going to grow, and we believe that it's the right place for us to be. But I'm so glad that you are here today, and thank you so much for not only visiting the opening of our store, but for your service to the county. Being the president and executive director of the Chamber of Commerce is an important job. Everything starts with creating jobs and having successful companies that provide jobs so that people can raise their families and have a lifestyle that they're proud of and hopeful. So thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you, Jim. We'll see you again soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Helen Kissick. She is head of the chamber, and she's been. I hope you bought something at the store, and we have we'll have a couple of customers. We want to bring a customer over and have them ready, and we'll talk to them in just. And now we're joined by Julia Reagan, and she is with the HR department, the Human Resources Department of St. Barnabas, and she was the lead person on getting those 70 jobs filled. That was a chore.
Yes.
That's a lot of people.
It was great to be a part of this opportunity to really grow the community. We had open interviews multiple days for about a month or so. We had a great turnout. Brittany Safran, as you know, is the manager here. She was really instrumental in getting those recruits and getting high quality candidates. And I think we've been able to successfully fill all of our positions. Right now we do have openings in produce and cashiers. I mean, we're always looking for those students, those high school students, to come and get a jump start in the workforce, and we're always hiring.
Well, if any of our listeners would like to have a job at the supermarket, or if you have a neighbor that has some young people that might want to come and work at the store, it's amazing when I consider how difficult it is for people to find jobs. Or for employers to find employees. Everywhere you go, you see we're hiring, signs on please come to work with us. And it's pretty amazing that you were able to fill 70 jobs in a relatively short time.
That's right. I mean, I was amazed at it. Having an HR background, a recruiting background, this was the quickest hiring event and store opening that I have ever seen, and it really speaks to the hard work that everybody put into this operation, in organizing and marketing and advertising, and we were able to quickly fill those positions with high quality candidates.
Well, that's great. Did many of them have other jobs that they left to come here, or?
Yeah, many, have left other opportunities to come here just because they knew St. Barnabas had the strong benefits, a strong culture and mission. And I think that was appealing to those individuals.
Great. Well, if you're out there, anybody that wants a good job in a beautiful store with all these happy people that come through here. Everybody that shops here is happy. In fact, we're going to talk to a couple of our shoppers in just a few moments. But But Julia, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
joining
Mr.
us,
Roddey.
and thank you most importantly for the great job you did in filling all these positions so quickly,
Thank
so
you.
that we
It's a
could
team
open the
effort.
store.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Roddey.
you. And now we have a lady that's joined us, and I see she's been shopping today.
Yes.
And first of all, tell me your name and where you live.
Nancy Halfhill, and I live on Tuscaroras Road.
Now, Nancy, and your last name is
Half hill,
Half
of a hill.
Halfhill.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us. And you were without a grocery store for a very long time.
Yes.
That must have been difficult, very inconvenient.
Yes, it was.
And what was your reaction when you first saw this store when it opened, and
I
how
was-
beautiful it
I
is?
was thrilled. I really liked it.
Now, have you been able to find everything that you want?
Yes.
I'm finding things here that I can't find in the stores in Pittsburgh. So
Oh, wow.
it's very impressive what they've done. The
Yes.
produce is very good,
Yes.
and the deli. Have you shopped at the deli?
Yes, I have.
And
It's good, too.
it looks good. I found a lot of things I think I'll take home for tonight for tonight's dinner. But the produce, the bakery, the meat section,
Yes.
the deli, all is really wonderful, and beer and wine.
Yeah,
and so that's-
different.
Yeah, that's nice to have it, is when you go shopping and be able to do that. Well, thank you so much for shopping. We're glad you're happy, and we're glad that we can serve nice people like you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you a lot. And now we have a gentleman that's been
Hello, Mr.
out.
Roddey, how are you?
I'm good. Tell us your name and where you live.
My name's Dave Brenner. My name's Dave Brenner. I live right down the road on Tuscaroras, and we sometimes walk up here.
Well, now, what'd you do for the 3.5 years there was no store?
Drive long distances. It was very inconvenient, especially when you need little things, milk, bread. But what an improvement. We love this place.
Well, it's important. It was sort of the missing link in Brighton Township. You've got good health care. You've got good school district. You've got nice homes. It's a nice place to live. But not having a grocery store had to be a big hindrance to you.
Absolutely, yes. And the upgrade that they did on this place is just fabulous.
Well, and it was really more than upgrades. They just gutted the place and started over. From the lights in the ceiling to the floor, everything is brand new. And I've never been in a store where everything is brand new.
Exactly, and it's truly under good management.
It is. The
It's very
Saffron
important.
family knows what they're doing, and they know the grocery business, and certainly they've done a good job. And we've hired 70 people.
Wow.
And
Hey, all the employees are very polite. They know their jobs. And it's just wonderful.
And-
Now you have the wine and
Wine and beer,
which
yeah.
is very convenient.
But everyone is so friendly. Everyone I talk to, all of the employees are willing to help you. I asked where something was, and this lady said, "Well, let me take you." And it took me right to the aisle and showed me, and that was nice.
They've even ordered some things that they didn't have that we kind of wanted. And they put forth the effort, ordered the product for us. And that was very important.
Wow, that's good.
So,
Well, what was your first reaction when you came in the store the first time?
wow.
Yeah.
That's all I could say. Wow. Because
Well, I think that's what they were looking for. They were looking for that wow factor.
the prices are competitive, which
Yes.
is very nice, very important.
Yes, that is.
So,
Well, I want to thank you for joining us today, and thank you for shopping and please come back every day.
we try.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot. Good to have you with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up in just a few minutes, but it's been an interesting day. We've had a ribbon cutting. We had a discussion with the county commissioners, the first time that they've been on the air as a team, and they'll be on every month. on WBVP and WMBA and 99.3 FM. Every month, the commissioners will have a session, and you'll hear what's happening. We talk to them about the assessments, and we talk to them about the capital projects, and we talk to them about getting along with each other, which is very important. But the most important thing of today is opening this gorge, having the official opening of this gorgeous supermarket. And so this is Jim Roddey for St. Barnabas, and we are at the Tusca Shop and Save, Tusca Plaza Shop and Save on Tuscarora Road. If you haven't been here, please come soon. And please tune in next week, every Thursday, for the very best of Beaver County. And I can tell you, this store really epitomizes the name of it is the best of Beaver County. See you next week. Thank you.